the circles of life. And here to celebrate the women, this is what we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from the hour of 10 a.m. up until 11 in the sectors where what they're doing and how they're nurturing the young ones, are paving way for the young generation. They're mothers, and they're taking center stage in managerial positions in the leadership skills, and they're impacting it onto the young people and especially the communities where we live. Well, this morning I'm happy to introduce my panel. I'm having Kenyange Jamila. She's the CEO Zion Coffee, and she's going to be telling us more about a coffee. If you're a coffee lover, or if you want to start and have your own investment, she'll be giving you those highlights and inspiration. Yet again, I am having Ahabwe Sheila. She's the director, Vine Kitchen Catering Services and Vine Culinary School. I'll be getting the right pronunciation, what culinary is all about. That is a Sheila for you, Ahabwe. That is the right pronunciation. And next to me, I'm having Jamila. Ladies, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for making time. I'll start with the lady at the extreme end. Sheila, tell us more about you and what you do.
Thank you very much. My name is Ahabwe Sheila, and the company is Vine Kitchen. And at Vine Kitchen, we do catering services, and we also teach. We teach people how to cook, how to bake. Basically, things to do with hospitality is what we do at our own Vine Culinary School. Yes.
So I had the right pronunciation, culinary.
Culinary, yes.
You'll be letting us know how come you chose culinary, what it means.
Yes, I will.
Jamila, good to have your company this morning. How have you been?
Thank you so much. I've been well, thank you. My name is Jamila Kenyange, once again, and I'm the CEO Zion Coffee. And we do coffee and value addition at Zion Coffee as a brand or a company. So I'm glad to be here.
Wow, seeing women put away the lipstick and the high heels to do business is amazing.
I know.
Tell us about the name and why you took that particular path. Was it because you had a role model, or maybe you had someone to look up to in your family and it shaped your path and you're like, this is what I need to do?
Okay, so for example, Vine, I had someone who influenced me when I was growing up, mentoring me to make me what I am today. And that man of God who passed on is the one that actually instilled the discipline in me as I was growing up. So while I was looking for a name to name my company, I thought that would be actually a representation of what he did, because he used to have a ministry called Vine. So I said, oh, this is in his name, so that I can actually show the world that what he instilled in me, I actually put into practice. Then for culinary, it was when I attended a cooking competition as a mentor chef in India, and I realized most people were not using the word cooking in other parts of the world. They actually used the word culinary. So I said, no, I cannot use cooking. Basically, I will just use culinary. So that's how it came about. Yeah.
Beautiful, loving memory of someone. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Just moving to Jamila, Zion itself, and it's glorious, lifting Jesus.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Please tell us more.
Well, personally, I'm a born-again Christian, a remnant, I may say. And Zion is, I think if we all read the Bible, we know what Zion represents or who Zion is. So from my Bible background and as a born-again Christian, when I was looking out for what to name the business, I read so much about Zion, and that is what inspired me. And I began to pray about it. And in one of my prayers, I asked God for confirmation. So as I went for my weekly fellowships, the sermon for Sunday was all about Zion, and that is how I come up with Zion. So Zion, we are spiritually grounded. We really represent the Zion in the Bible. So that is us about Zion Coffee. Thank you.
Well, for a lady who wants to start up, they're thinking, I need to also have a school like culinary. What other services do you offer? Maybe they could borrow a leaf from what you're doing.
First of all, you need to know if it is what you want. do you want to do? Is it what you want, or because people are pushing you to it? So if it is what you want, then definitely Vine Culinary School will be the place to be, because at Vine Culinary School we'll be able to equip you with skills, the experience, and the exposure. Because sometimes we start businesses but we lack the exposure. For example, you want to start a catering company, but you've never worked with any catering company. So for us, we have the section of catering and we have the section of the school. So the section of the school, after teaching you, we can actually expose you to the side of the catering. You get hands-on experience, and we also help you get a job in the market. So yes, definitely I would advise someone to come to us, and then we shall give them the skill. Not only shall we give them the skill, but we also help them establish a market. Yeah.
Okay, I love that bit of like you support them all through the journey, and after acquiring the skill, then they start up and find market.
Yes.
Wow, that's good. Very, very good. Well, Zion, how is it then? Can someone come up and you train them? If they want to be the best, get to know how they source the coffee?
Well, for now, we are not into training yet, because we are also not very old in the business. We're about a year. So for now, what we do at Zion is outsource the best coffee, add value to it, and sell it to the end consumer. So in so doing, we buy coffee, we call them coffee beans. We roast the coffee, we ground the coffee, we package the coffee, and we sell it to the people out there. Apart from that, we also have an outlet where we serve a cup of coffee. So what we do basically is we promote domestic coffee consumption. That is our goal as Zion Coffee. When you look at coffee entrepreneurs or coffee business at large, you realize that domestically people are not taking coffee, you are not drinking coffee. So what we came up with is, how do we make a Ugandan taste this cup of coffee? So we do packaging, we do serve coffee, and the rest. So basically it's about coffee value addition, and also ensuring that someone out there is taking a cup of coffee. Probably in the near future we'll look at training and offering some other services, and as time goes on. Yes.
Wow, a great work that you're doing. I know it's tough for one to really embrace coffee, where I've been, and then others make mistakes of maybe if you add so much sugar, then it stops tasting like coffee. So we go on learning such techniques.
That's very true.
Just moving to the entrepreneur, the extreme end. What are some of those mistakes, the people that come to you for training, what are some of those mistakes that you've seen that women do, or those who are starting do when it comes to business? Because it's good to get the mentorship, then you skill them, but what are some of those mistakes that you've really noticed?
I've noticed that we rush. Women, we are not like men. Men are so, okay, men I can't say are very organized more than women, but men are so consistent. When a man is starting business, they are ready to face the world. They are, you know, they do their research. But for us women, when we want to start business, we always want to do it there and then. We don't want to give it time. We don't want to do the research. But not all women do that. But the mistake I've seen with us is that we want to rush through things before we can actually prepare for the journey. And business needs you to prepare. You need to do research. You need to know what your product you're going to deal in, who are your competitors, and the different things that you consider. So yes, those are some of the mistakes that I've seen with women.
Okay, coffee. There's a lot of competition when it comes to coffee, but at least one has to know the techniques. You talked about the sorting and all those other stages. Someone has to really grasp. What are some of those mistakes that you see from others? Because I know it's in type. There's that one that is really powdered,
Yes.
and another one that still has a bit of grains.
Yes.
So I think it's a different style depending on what the person wants.
Yes. I think in coffee, for starters, one has to know what they want to do. Coffee has about 9 or 10 revenue streams. Those are ways how someone can get money, starting from the farm to the cup. So if, for example, you want to be a farmer, know that you're going to farm. You're going down to the farm to farm and produce the best coffee. If you want to be in green beans, also know that this is what I want to do, and this is what I have to bring to the market. If you want to add value, that is buying the green beans, buying the green beans and then adding value to it, like what we are doing at Zion. Also know what you want to do exactly so that you don't make mistakes. Most times we want to do everything at once. I am a farmer maybe, and I want also to do the roasting, I want to package, I want this and that and what have you. So you realize at the end of the day you're too busy for so much, you're doing so much on your table, and you don't concentrate on some of the things. So you need to know what exactly you want, and then you do a bit of research, and then after that you position yourself financially, physically, and in all ways that it takes for you to be a good entrepreneur. So there's so many mistakes that we do. You rush into the market because so and so is doing the business, because you've seen Zion, because you've seen so and so. You have not visited anyone, any entrepreneur. You have not done research. You have not, talked to anyone about it. It's just something in your, within you that you feel you should do, or maybe so and so has done it and they are progressing well. So you end up doing a lot of mistakes. But it's good to learn. Take a step, learn. If you want to be a value into value addition, what does it take? Visit the people who are doing it, do a bit of research, talk to as many people as you have to, do a lot of internet research. We have Google, it has all the information. And at the end of the day, develop yourself as an entrepreneur who is going to, stand out for the best. So for me, the mistakes that they do are so common, and they can be done by anyone, but they are avoidable. So do research, and then you come out with the best. Thank you.
Okay. Allow me to take you back in the conversation, how you started. Because one has to make a lot of savings. You've been in this job and you really want to quit, start small.
And grow big.
And the thinking of money. What are some of those first things you thought about when you were starting?
Well, when I was starting, it wasn't actually something to do, because I've done so many businesses, and I didn't know, I had no idea that cooking was going to be one of those things that I would do as a business. So I think most of the times we considered money to be like the first thing that one has to have, but I think the very first thing is skill and being able to know that like you assess yourself and know, am I ready for this job, or is it because it is pressure from work? Because some people are gifted differently. You may want to start a business because you need a side hustle. You may want to start a business because you want more money. Yes, of course we want more money, but when this struggle comes in the business, in the middle there, when you're stuck, are you able to stand during these times when things are hard? So one of the things that I thought about was not money, but it was the skill. I first went back to school to study. I said, for me to actually understand, because I'd gone to many businesses, but I needed knowledge. That's why I went back to school and studied to be a chef. And from that time, yes, I was a good cook at home. Everyone would say, oh, the meals you prepare are so good. But when I thought about business, I said the best place to be would be in a school. Actually, when I walked into a school, I told the principal, I'm here to see if I can actually learn, if I'm actually a cook.
So apart
in
from
case,
having the money, one has to do the research and tap
Exactly.
into a different skill
Yes.
to succeed.
yes. So it's not about the money. I mean, before you think about the money, do you have the skill? Or because you're running, everyone is talking about, by the way, catering makes money. And then you also go running. By the way, coffee makes money. You go running, running. You go running to start
There's
it.
even starting something you're not so sure about.
True.
And then if it's a salon business, you're not so good.
Exactly.
And they end up telling you the chemicals are very expensive.
And then you're like, oh no, I've invested. No, actually, before you even go to the chemicals, all the workers are going to be disappointing you. You hire this one today, you hire this one, the other one tomorrow, and they all disappear. And you're left in the salon alone. So basically, you have to know if it is your thing. Do you have the passion for it? Do you have the skill? Because there are people doing the same business, but they don't have the skill, they don't have, but at least they have the passion. So at least you can rely on passion before you think about money. Yeah.
Okay. We are all in, the ladies are entrepreneurs here, just because they're doing different things. Is it the same as Zion? Extra research, the passion, or one has to think about the money to tap into the coffee space?
Well, we all need the money, that's true, and that's why we wake up every day to go and work. But before you make the money, you got to know what you're doing. For example, at Zion Coffee, when we came up with the brand and started the business at large, we didn't just say, let us start making money, but I worked together with my sister, my young sister. So in order for her to acquire a skill, she had to undertake a course in barista and quality management, and for her to broaden her knowledge about coffee. Although at the time I was busy, so I could not go for the course, but she did, so that we have a broader knowledge about coffee. So it is, the skill matters, and also the passion matters, and also the money matters. But for you to make the money, you have actually to do something extra. So I would go back to my sister here. She's right, you have to actually do something extra for you to see your brand grow, your business grow, and then also make the money at the end of the day.
Okay. Lessons learned all through through the process. I know you're still on the journey, and there's you sit back and you're like, I need to get to that level. It's still a journey. Lessons learned so far.
Personally, I have learned to appreciate growth, because I always tell people God appreciates growth. That the reason as to why I say that is, if he did not appreciate growth, we would have been born when we are old. But we are born when we are young, meaning every step that we go through, God appreciates it. And if our Creator appreciates growth, how about me? So most of us want to rush through things, and we forget the fact that we are growing. A baby will be born, by the way, you'll be pregnant. From that, there are so many stages that we go through. And most entrepreneurs will imagine you have to be big. You'll find someone wanting to start, they want to start with the lights, they want to start with everything, but no, there should be a stage of growth. So through this whole process, I've learned growth, that I have to appreciate growth. Even if I want to be big, like the best caterer in town, the best school in town, they all went through a process, which I have to appreciate. So yes, that is
And
one
there's
of
really a lot that comes with growth.
Exactly. So you fall down, just like when a baby is growing.
You lose the appetite, at times it's very terrible.
Yeah. Even driving, for example, if you're learning to drive, you first knock cars, you know, you go through that whole process, and then when you go through it, you just know, yeah, now I'm ready to face the world. So throughout this whole process, I've learned to appreciate growth. Yeah.
I'm sure you make a good mentor. The ladies must be lucky, the ones that come to culinary.
Yes.
It's good to take someone through what you've experienced.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then not just showing them that all is good, all is well, you can have it all.
No, I actually usually tell people, and I'm usually honest, and people will be like, but how do you actually manage to do this? I'm like, yes, you can, but there are also other things you have to go through. So most people want us to sugarcoat things and tell them that only the good side, but I always give people both sides. I'm like, yes, you're planning to start this, but this is what you're going to face, and you have to learn how to deal with all these issues at hand. Yes.
Wow. Zion here, she has a lot to give to the world. Lessons learned so far.
There's a lot actually. If I give you a brief background about our story, on how we started, because it started as an idea, and then we stepped on the ground, and then after that we had to look for what it takes for us to start. So from the beginning, for me as a person who has ventured into the business, when I used to hear about coffee, I first of all didn't know that the actual entrepreneurs here who do coffee. I thought all coffee was exported, and yet we are one of the best countries in the world that produce coffee. So when I got to know about coffee, that's through Volcano Coffee, who is our mentor, I just took it personal. I said, how can people be here and, you know, making the money and, you know, having a brand, and they are running the business, and we actually don't know about it. So I started getting coffee. When I put everything together, I started selling coffee in my laptop bag at my former workplace. I would go to work, I would have my laptop, there is coffee in there, and then I would sell. But then from that, I learned that yes, you will have the product, but then you have to speak for your product. You have to advertise yourself, you have to market yourself, you have to look at all ways of growing your product. It's not going to speak out for itself if you're not speaking out for it. So from my laptop bag, I learned that actually the more people I interact with, the more I get to sell out my product. So I would meet people even on a border stage, and I say, hey, I sell coffee, how are you? I sell coffee, here is a pack of coffee. And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I would go home with a 20K, 50K, 100K, and that was exciting. But then I said, this thing needs consistency. I had a full-time job, and I said, okay, what do I do with this? So it took me back to think about, how can I grow my product? You have to think harder. So I made a decision to quit my job of 7 years and concentrate on my brand. And it wasn't easy. You have to make,
do you ever sit and
oh yes,
back?
you have to make decisions now. So I made a decision, I quit my job, and then I said, come and buy, let me go and sell the
you
coffee.
have to step into the water.
Exactly.
Get dirty,
yes,
and
get dirty,
get a product.
and, you know, and see what it takes. Because if I'm going to tell out my story to people, I don't need to sound like a motivational speaker.
I know. Make everything look sweet.
Oh yes, I need
forget reality sometimes.
to make it as real as I am. So from that ground, I said you cannot actually just have something and then you're too busy for it and then you want it to grow. So I had to quit my job for me to put myself together and also start selling the coffee. But when I quit the job, one thing that came to me was like, now I need visibility. What do I do? So I looked for the support that I needed, and I opened up an outlet. And that meant my brand is represented somewhere, is seen somewhere, and the actually people seeing it. If I talk about Zion Coffee, someone could be driving along Nakawa Kamwesa and they have seen a small outlet there. And I said, okay, this is the journey that we need to work together as a business as a brand, as a company, and make the best out of it. So it's a lot really. Consistency, it's you know, being there yourself. You have to know what you want. You
Not
have
directing
to,
on phone.
oh yes, exactly.
Making the decisions over the phone.
Oh yes. So
and the support that you talked about, that you
Yes.
have to get the support and come through with visibility.
yes.
Was it from family? Because we want to find out if the other men are supporting us.
Oh yes, that's very true. The support came from my husband to establish the outlet, but also alongside that, my young sister also was available to take up the course and also get broader knowledge about coffee. So she's our super barista there. If you came to outlet, she will serve you the best coffee. Then also I have people, you know, around me, my sister Sheila, the many, my sister-in-law Lucy, they have come through to support in all ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you know, with all sorts of support. So, and also the people that actually take your product, that is number one support. You know, there are people, I quit my job about a year ago, but people still call me and like, hey, we need some coffee.
Well,
So
glory to God.
Amen.
Good to know that we're having support coming through.
Oh yes.
If you're
yes.
out there and you're supporting a sister,
Yes.
fellow woman, please
Yes, that's
go
very
right
true.
ahead. One was sharing a story back then and said, I really had to quit my job, but sitting home on the round table, my husband is like, you'll stay. You'll stay. Why are you quitting?
I
want to
know.
do my own things.
Yes, yes.
You need
That's how
to
we
top up. I have to invest.
Yes.
And the husband is like, have they chased you? No,
No.
I am quitting. So at the end of that day, the husband was like, you learned the lesson.
Oh, yes.
You were not supposed to quit the job. So she sat back home, no job anymore.
I know.
Next week came a month. The husband is, every time she would ask for money, the man is like, I told you to go back and ask for your job back.
I know, because there's that comfort that comes with having
Yes.
a salary at the end of the month. Because at the end of the month, you're not worried about anything and you're sure that money is coming through. But with business, you're not sure if this money is coming through. It's actually faith. And
It is.
when they talk about faith, I think that is faith. Because you wake up in the morning, you don't know who's going to walk into your shop. You don't know if they will buy the products or they will not buy
They'll
the
just
products.
come and window shop.
Yeah,
That's why we emphasize that we need the support.
Yeah,
that's
from
true.
the different organizations in the communities where we live, from our spouses and our partners, your big brothers. If you have guardians, we need a support coming in.
Sure.
Uh,
Because that's why I always, personally, I always support women who are small businesses. And people will always ask me, how did you get to know that big person? They don't know that it's been a series of support. Like when I meet when I find a shop that has just opened, those are the people that I actually buy from. And I consistently buy from them. I grow with them. I don't grow with them because they're already big, but usually you support, because someone who is starting, they are not so sure. They are trying things here and there. They are failing here and there. So all they need is your support. So usually when I go to shops, I'll go to that small shop, because that small shop ends up being the big shop. And most people want to go to the big shop. But these small shops that we go to are the ones that end up being so big. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Brilliant superwomen ready to work, and we're here to celebrate them. If you've just joined us for this very episode, I am having Jamila, a CEO Zion Coffee, and Sheila, the director of Vine Kitchen, Catering Services and Vine Culinary School. Those are our guests at this day, inspiring us. Is it about being a director? Is it about being a CEO? You're celebrated. You want to quit your job and you know, be the big boss. Tell us about those shoes that you're putting on as a director.
I think it's the first time I'm even using the word director, because it ceases to be a position, but rather a responsibility.
Yes.
That's why I say that when you're going to think about business, you may come into business, but more of having a heart for the people. For me, it gives me joy when people eat. When I skill someone and I find that they are really trying out the skill. I skill more of the women because I have a heart for women. For me, it gives me joy when people have all eaten food and they are satisfied. When I give someone a service and they are happy, it is my satisfaction. So it is no longer who I am, because everyone will ask me, are you the one who cooks the food? Yes, I cook the food. Yes, I have a team of people that I work with, but I cook the food. I cook the food because people are looking for me. And someone will be like, really, do you really have to cook the food? But it's my passion. If I don't cook this food, I am not alive.
Oh, because you don't want to give out your secret ingredients?
No. I always share my ingredients because I always tell people that creativity, no one can put a stop to creativity. That's why you have to know what you want, because once you're creative, you can't run out of ideas. So it doesn't hurt for me to share a recipe with you. Everyone who has approached me will know that I will give you that recipe. I even had a group of women in COVID that I would share recipes with, like over 250 women that I taught how to cook, that have improved their skills through my recipes. So I don't believe in that thing of this is my recipe. No. If it was that, we wouldn't have YouTube. If it was that, people wouldn't share their knowledge. Because even if I give you the recipe, you're different. And there's always something to learn from
Everyone
each one.
has magical hands at the end of the day.
Yeah, because believe me, you, Jamila, will cook a meal. Even if we have the same recipe, it will turn out differently. You will cook a meal with same ingredients, but we all produce something different.
Yeah, we need to stand out and shine as women.
So
gone are the days of not supporting each other. One is holding back as if you're doing an exam, and they really don't want to see you to see their answers.
I know. So it kind of gets boring, because at the end of it all, it's a skill. If you forget that it is a skill, then you are bound to fail. Because even if I see your recipe, I cannot produce your food. Even if you gave me the food for so and so, we cannot produce the same result. So why should I hide the knowledge, for example?
Wow.
Yeah, so sharing is caring. I will share the recipes, even after now. If you need any recipe, just call me. I'll give you that recipe. Unless I am busy and I don't have the time, but usually I will share my recipe.
Okay. Yes, she's yet to share her contacts. Now you can track her down for the recipe and more tips to be a better cook. Jamila, tell us about the shoes, the CEO Zion Coffee. Is it about the position? I can be able to pay myself, you know? This is my investment.
Wow, that's an interesting question. Well, I don't see myself as the CEO. I'm actually a team player, if I might say, or team leader, I would say. Because if you want to grow the business, you don't start from up there. There are stages and levels of growth, just like my sister here shared. When you look at a business, when you're still working somewhere and you all happy, I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to do this and that and that. But when you get down to the ground, it actually ceases to be a CEO or director or whatever it is. You have to get your hands dirty. For example, I'll give you an example. Because we run a coffee outlet, it's takeaway point. So we serve snacks as well. We serve soft drinks as well to support the business. But I woke up this morning to prepare some pancakes and juice that I left at the shop for the person who is there to sell, so that we can earn, a shillings. So if I was like any other person who says I'm a CEO, I would probably not be doing that.
You'd wake up at your own time.
Exactly.
And start snacking.
Exactly.
On what they're prepared.
So you have to make yourself part of the business, feel the business. You have to, even when the business is struggling, you have to struggle with it. When it is somewhere you feel proud of yourself, but you say we are not yet there, you have to, do what it takes. When I wake up one day and the outlet is not open, inside me I am sad And I usually tell my colleague at work, I say, you know, if you're not able to make it, let me know. I'll be there. And we have a schedule that we follow because we are still a small business. But what am I saying? It's not about the position. It's not about the title. It's about you as an individual and how you want to see your business, where you want to see your business. If we started last year in January with the outlet, where should we be next year in January and in the next 5 years? So you cannot say that I'm going to be there well in, you know, in my suit, in my what. I also go and sit somewhere, take a cup of coffee.
Like my boss at work.
Exactly, like that high-end corporate customer. And yet, you know, you
like how it used to be when you were an employee.
Exactly, yes. Like, and yet the business is struggling. You have to see the business through. So it ceases to be the CEO actually at some point. You will enjoy those benefits later in future, but for now, be part of the business. Know the challenges, know what it takes, know what people want. When we started, we were selling a few snacks, but we started introducing this and that and what have you. So every day there is a lesson you're learning, every day there is something you're learning. There are market days you have to get yourself prepared and then go for those market days, because we actually don't have a big team. So we are still small, so we have to get there ourselves and not act as CEOs. We are
not be like we're already there. Why should we go for such market days, exhibitions?
Yes, you are that business, and what you represent, what you give out to people is what they will take. So for me, the title, yes, but it's not practical.
It's more hard work for you.
Yes, that's true.
Wow, lessons learned for this very episode. Amazing. How do you deal with the challenges? Because I mean, if you're not there at some particular point.
Okay. Of course, I always tell people you should have systems. Systems are very important. However small you are, you need systems. And that's why we go to work in different organizations, because those organizations, while we are at our places of work, I always tell people, let's remember that this is a training ground, which is expensive. Actually, some of us look at the money that we earn at work, but we forget about the experience. You can never buy experience. So because of that, I have set up systems. I have a system. When I talk about a system, someone will think about ICT, but a system is people. For you to execute your work, you can't work alone. You need a team. So you have to build a team, and I have built a team. In most cases, when we end the function, everyone is asking me, where do you get these people? How, I mean, like they are, I don't know what happens in other catering companies, but they look at how we are organized and ask themselves why we are this organized. Yet it is not me doing this work, but it is the team. So if you establish a system and a team of people that is able to help you out, because you have to delegate some of your work. Because I cannot say I am the cook all the time. No, you have to train someone, because as a leader, you have to pass on. Sometimes I will pass on, I think I've passed on my knowledge to people, and when these people cook, they think it is me who has cooked. They're like, you mean today you haven't cooked? I said, no, I'm not the one who cooked. And my team has come to that point where I can tell them what to do, because all I need is someone who can listen and is willing to learn. And I transfer the skill to them. They're able to do what I can do when I'm not available. So yes, how have I managed? It is through systems and knowing that I cannot do everything on my own, but rather I have to delegate some of the work. And also basically it's all basing on systems, whether it is finances, whether it is everything, and the system is people. So you learn how to deal with the people, know how you can talk to your workers, how you train them. Do you treat them as animals, or you only treat them as human beings?
This is not, you don't have to touch the sauce.
Exactly.
You will eat the leftovers at the end of the day.
No. That is what exactly they will show to your clients. So basically, because my team actually, they eat before they serve. Because I don't want them to appear like they are so miserable and yet they made the
Do
food.
you know what it means to be so hungry?
I know.
It's good to serve on a full stomach.
Exactly. So I don't see why they shouldn't enjoy what they have cooked. You cook the food, we eat the food. Same food, we will eat the same food. The same food they eat is what I will also eat. If it is there, well and good. If it is not there, after. But before, they will have to eat something. Then after the function, if it is there, they will also
You all sit
enjoy.
and dine together.
Exactly. We are a team. Because there's no difference between me and them. The only difference is that I'm providing an opportunity and they are helping me execute the opportunity. Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot to share and a lot to learn, like I
Yeah.
said earlier on. Well, Zion,
Yes.
how is it like for you? Because I know, like you say, you have to be there, you have to push.
Yes.
Someone took up your shoes and went to train, your sister, as you shared, and she turned out to be the best barista.
Yes.
How do you manage the other challenges that come through?
Well, I think it rotates around the same point. You know, you cannot work alone. That's a fact of life. If you want to grow, you have to grow with people. And if you want to let the business be there as it started, and now and tomorrow and forever, you shield yourself as the owner and the business owner and you know, the business itself. So you have to spread your wings, if I may say. Spread your wings, teach people what to do. I come from a background where I have worked in a business where I used to work, and one of the things I was taught was to learn to delegate. And from that experience, I understood that if I know something and I don't share it with people out there, with the people I'm working with, it means I'll frustrate the business. And if I don't train people, it means the business is me, and if I am not there, there's nothing that will be done. So from that experience, I let everyone around me learn. It's not only my sister. Now I have a few people coming in to learn. And this I did. I said, okay, now we are family, but how about if we are not there as a family? Will the business close? No, the business will not close. So I am in a journey of, you know, bringing other people that who actually are not part of me, like family, to also learn and get that knowledge, experience something, and also maybe make the best out of themselves. Because at the end of the day, we need to grow each other. It ceases to be a personal business, it ceases to be, or maybe a family business or something. You let other people also learn so that they can also go and try it out there. And it works for them, and tomorrow, if we have many CEO, it's for the good of us all here. So coming back to your point, it is information shared and knowledge shared, I think, is the best I can tell everybody out there. For example, when I was starting, when I walked to Volcano Coffee, I met a gentleman called Gerard Katabazi, and he shared with me, you know, knowledge about coffee, and that is where I started from. So if he had shielded that to himself alone, I probably wouldn't be here, you know, on this program speaking. But because he's open-minded and he wants to see many people grow, he wants to see coffee, you know, get consumed up to the, you know, the last person. He has passion for something. So he said, if you want to start, I'm here to help you. So in the same way, we are also in that journey of supporting other people, seeing that we grow our business, but we also grow the community. Lastly, not lastly, but where we work from is a student environment. And you can imagine these are young people who are educated by their fathers who are farmers, and, you know, probably the money comes from the coffee. But when they come and say, oh, this is a coffee outlet. Oh, how do you do this? Oh, this is your brand. How do you package this? Oh, I didn't know you can do this. The information you share with them is very vital in their lives. in that they also go and say, I will go and tell my daddy to also start packaging coffee. I also go and tell my daddy to go and do this.
Instead of ending in the garden.
Yes, instead of
They
ending in
should
the
tap
garden.
into other
Yes, yes.
spaces.
So it is good news to us that we are not working alone, but we are also working with the community and also supporting one another in one way or the other. And the knowledge that we have acquired, even though we have paid in a coin or something, but at least we are able to share it with someone else, and at the end of the day, it is impactful in their lives.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, a few minutes to go for this very episode. Before we let the ladies go, just getting to have the contacts. Are you all over the socials if someone wants to come to culinary school or maybe get tips about being the best chef?
Yes, we are on social media, and by the way, our location is in Tinda Chigowa Road, before the police post. And then Vine Kitchen, you can contact us on Facebook, Vine Kitchen, Vine Culinary School. When you type in Vine Kitchen, our website www.vinekitchenug.com, and then Instagram is Vine Kitchen, vinekitchenug.com. Twitter, the same thing, everywhere is Vine Kitchen. So in case you have any questions, yes, our socials are open, and very soon the YouTube channel will be loaded. Yeah, we opened it, but we've not been feeding it with information, but now we are going to start producing more videos. Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
Zion here has a few products to unveil to you who has been watching. Maybe you can catch up as she shares her contact if you need the products. Please go right ahead.
Oh yes, we are located physically in Nakawa, just next to Akamwesi Hostel, next to the behind gate of the hostel. There's a container branded yellow, so that is where our outlet is. In our outlet, we sell coffee in a cup. We also sell coffee in powder form. We also sell roasted beans. We have the list pack of 3,000, which is 50 grams. We also have 100 grams, which is about 15,000, and also 250, 500, and a kilo, all ready for you to take home and enjoy a cup of coffee. We are on Facebook as Zion Coffee. We are on Twitter as Zion Coffee UG. We are working on the website because it is ICT, so we are looking at a better way of how people can access our product by just a click of the button. So our website is not yet ready, but we are working on that. We can also be contacted on our telephone numbers 0756 20 77 17 and 0772 099909. So we'll be happy to serve you and available for you all the time. Thank you.
Okay, just maybe the number once again.
For
0756 20 77 17. That is Airtel, and MTN 0772 099909. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamila. Something you'd love to share?
Maybe I didn't give them the numbers.
Okay, feel
I could
free.
share. Like, the MTN is 0777, like 3 times, 034146. Airtel is 0704 46 14 14. 0704 46 14 14. The last word I have for us women is that we can. No one should tell you you can't, just know that you can. Whichever business you're planning to start, just know that you can. Thank you.
Thank you too for making time. Looks like Jamila has something pending.
Oh yes, I just wanted to tell the women out there is that if you wake up one day and you have something to sell, it means impactful to this society. And in order for us to grow as women, we should be able to do something for ourselves, for our families, for our children, and also show the children that we are raising that it is not about sitting at home. It is about you doing something, and then also bringing the best to the community, to the country's economy, and all that stuff. So thank you so much, and we will look forward to having more women on this platform. Thank you.
Inspiring the young generation, paving way for fellow women, and not forgetting the country's economy, and lifting a young sister out there, someone who wants to tap into this space. They've really shared quite a lot of things, amazing women we've had for this episode. Thank you so much, Sheila, for making time. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amila. Greetings to Zion and greetings to Culinary. Thank you for watching, dear viewer. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you right here at the National Broadcaster. My name is Sandra Kahunde. God bless you. We love you.
Thank you.